KOS. I brought up some topics about BC Park.
Here we go, I'm going to this, going on now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tracy Guilford, and this is the meeting of the Groveland Cable TV Advisory Board, Thursday, November 14th, 2019. My name is Tracy Guilford. If the other board members would introduce themselves.
Beth Rose.
Carl Judson?
Ed Watson.
First item on our meeting notice was public comment, and we have no one here from the public for comment. Second item will be approval of minutes. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, I read them over, they look to be in order, I'll move for passage.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, passed. Thank you for taking the notes, Ed, minutes. Third item is again our cable contract. I know there are a lot of different things going on. If we go to our timeline renewal, as I said before, we are behind. The selectmen know we are behind. I met with the selectmen Monday night, and they're expressing concern and would like to see more progress. So what I'd like to consider is we'll go through, and if people see something that we need to divide the work up in order to get it done. Because we are behind and the contract expires the end of November, we are seeking an extension of the current contract in order to get done everything we need to do. And Rob Carbone is still working on that. Unfortunately, he could not make tonight's meeting to give us an update, so I will follow up with him on that. If we go back to our original timeline and we go to A, number 1, how much time we'll need to do this, I'm anticipating we'll probably need a 6-month extension. Could possibly be done in 3 months, but I would rather ask for more time and know we have it rather than ask for a limited time and then not meet that goal again. The Board of Selectmen has requested our presence as a board in entirety at their next meeting, which will be a week from Monday. So if everyone can check their calendars
Have they
and
given you an idea of what they're looking for? If it's going to be another slap in the face kind of meeting? and tell
no,
us
they
what
want to
we've done?
see
What would-
progress.
okay,
We
that's
need to
fine.
generate
That's fine.
we need to
don't
generate
that.
paperwork. You know, what they're definitely gonna be looking at that is, at that point, I need to find out from Rob about the extension process and need to have it in writing from, whether it's the Comcast, that they are aware of what we're asking for and are in agreement with it. You know, is basically, we have to all work together as a team to get this done. So all the parties need to be on the same page. So if we're asking for a 6-month extension, everyone needs to know including our attorney, the state, and Comcast. So that all, again, number 2, under A, our goals naturally are to get the best contract for the town of Groveland. Identify which parties, the parties, we're gonna be working with, naturally a Comcast, Department of Telecommunications, and our Board of Selectmen are the main parties.
I would say the public as well.
Yeah, and
That's
the
the most
parties.
important
Yep.
piece.
Yeah, well, that's, getting to the survey, I had, tried to get the survey up, and it requested, payment. When I asked about payment Monday, the checks are cut here twice a month, and I missed the cycle. So I did go online today, use my credit card to activate the survey, but for some reason I did something incorrect because it charged me like $956 to my credit card. I called Rob, and he said I had done something incorrect, and I should contact customer support tomorrow. So that survey will be up within the next couple of days, and then we will have to start advertising on Channel 9, Channel 22, as well as coming up with flyers, so we can get, as you said, the most important people that we're servicing are the people, voters in the town of Groveland, that we're working for. So we will need their input on what they like and don't like regarding their service with Comcast. We're reviewing our current contract and identify areas that need correction and improvement. I know reviewing some of the posts on Facebook and other social media, some people are not happy, but I hope that everyone who has posted on social media that they've had a problem would put that problem into writing and come to our public hearing. Our ascertainment hearing will probably be taking place the end of January in order to get us probably a month, or a little more than a month of survey, and then a week or two to be able to crunch the numbers and look at what we received as a result of the survey. We will also have to have a paper survey and also get that out to different boards or groups like the Council on Aging and maybe the library for people who are not tech savvy, so that they will have the opportunity to have their input via paper.
I'll get that in the next couple of days. I'll get it to you.
Okay. We're gonna meet under B, we meet with the Board of Selectmen, so again, a week from Monday, we need to meet with the Board of Selectmen. We need to have input and communication between the two parties in order to make sure this is on track to get done what we need to get. So, under C3, contacting department heads, committee chairs, law enforcement, public safety representatives, interested and concerned school department personnel. I have spoken with the police chief. I have spoken with the superintendent of schools. The schools are really busy right now with the new school project, so probably won't have a lot to say about this.
I have a
Alright.
question about
Yep.
that, sorry.
Sure.
In the past, we've had like a studio at the school, or we've had access to the school, and the school's had access to cable equipment.
When Georgetown and Groveland was combined, we had a studio in Georgetown High School, but then it came to a point where the school needed more classroom space.
Right.
So we had to give up the our studio, and we were relegated to no studio again.
What about cable service at the school, in terms of either going out on site and doing programs there, or recording programs?
Yeah, well, we had our last cable operator who recently retired, was doing a number of things. He used to do the Bagnell Festival of Lights, which, because the music teacher retired this year, I was told they will not continue with the Festival of Lights at least this year, because the new teachers are getting acclimated to the students in the schools. So that won't happen. Our cable operator, camera operator, recorded a number of the sporting events, like some of the soccer, some of the volleyball, some of the basketball. But right now, we have it advertised for a new camera operator. But I have not been made aware of anyone who has submitted a resume to the town at this point.
Okay. The reason I was asking that is, I know the school department has a lot
Yep, go ahead.
with the new school project going forward.
Yep.
I just thought if part of our contract might include some funding for that type of cable public access and use of schools, that maybe we can approach them in that way, just to have a conversation.
Well, we had tried at one point, a number of years ago, we met with a different superintendent, and we had given them, I think it was, if I remember right, $6,000 seed money, with the idea that students would submit work to be published on the channel,
Yeah,
and we never received anything.
okay.
But again, that was a different superintendent. I think the current superintendent is receptive to the idea of participating with us. But like I say, right now, their focus is the new school. So I'm not sure what we will get. We had, like I say, under C number 3 with Roman numeral 2, we have a online survey done. It's just in the process of online. Once I have confirmation that it is loaded, which should be within the next couple of days, we will have to contact the town to get it, a link on the town website so that people can participate, as well as put notices on 9 and 22 to let people know. And then, like I say, do the written surveys for other people.
Question on that,
Yes,
on the survey. Do you know how the system works? Is there something set up so that it will only accept one response per person? Do you know?
I believe it only accepts, and I'm not sure. Actually, I am not sure. So before I answer that incorrectly, let me check on that, whether it allows more than one from the same address. I don't know. I will find that out for our next meeting. Under C3, audit sites around Groveland that have cable service and equipment outlined in the franchise contract. Does anyone want to tackle that? I think it's just going to the original contract, and it should list like fire station, police station, library, all the government buildings that have cable. Yep,
We'll do it,
okay, you and Carl?
yes.
Yep.
Identify other locations, both current and future, that may need service. You know, I probably should draft like a general letter to put in like all the board and committee mailboxes out there that say, you know, the Groveland Cable TV Advisory Board in the town of Groveland is in the process of negotiating a new contract with Comcast. You know, does your board, committee, or department have input? And do you want to see, you know, how can Channel 9 or 22 help you? I know a lot of people just prefer to do everything on the internet now, but we still have a following of people that watch our government programs and watch our bulletin boards. So it's
That's a
still
good idea.
important. So I will work on that letter for the department heads, or notice. Identify age and functionality of services and equipment that we had previously tasked to Rob and Chris.
I think that was done.
Yeah, because Chris had
You had a list of that.
he had the list of the equipment, and I asked him to redo the list in type that was larger so that it was readable. And also, I asked him to break down the list. He said it'd be easier to have it broken down by rooms, so we have all the equipment in the town hall meeting room here, all the equipment in the police station office, and all the equipment listed in the fire station meeting room that we use on occasion. Under D, continue with the ascertainment action items. 2, contact Comcast regarding any and all initial proposals. As you know, they did send us a proposal. I know Rob has said he spent a lot of time reviewing the proposal for language, in comparing it to our first contract. Because as you know, language and how something is written can be a big change in a contract. Just a few keywords here or there can change something remarkably. So he is, I know, working on that. Under D3, activate online survey. Like I say, I tried to do that today, so that should be done within the next day or two. And I will notify people so that the board member, doing the survey too. Under D4, generate a physical survey for people who may not be tech savvy. That should be easily printed from our online survey. I believe it has an ability to just click on and transfer the the online survey to a printed survey. And then we'll be able to use that to get out to.
So you don't need me to, generate one?
I don't think we need to do it again. I'm pretty sure. I will
Once you-
check.
Once you get it up and posted,
I'm gonna check
let me
with,
know if you can't print it.
right. I'm pretty sure it's printable from what was submitted. Under D5, we're gonna plan for a public hearing. It's funny, D5 is similar to E1. Host public hearing / public forum or series thereof for the public to present their questions and concerns. Under that, I'd like feedback from the board whether or not on our current timeline, I think we need a month of the survey to be up. A month or maybe like 5 weeks, which puts us into December. We'll need a couple of weeks, and we know we all have Christmas, we all have New Year's. So that basically brings us up to the beginning of January. I will be looking to coordinate with Comcast, our town attorney, Bill Hewig, and probably schedule the ascertainment hearing for the end of January. But having said that, I think I might want to try doing a public forum before then. What is the feeling of the board?
You want one prior to the survey being completed, after the 4 to 5 weeks, you want one after that, and then you want one before that.
Well, I'm thinking one before that to give people the
Sooner the better.
opportunity.
Sooner the better.
Okay. So,
Yeah. I
I-
mean, sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I think it's important to know that we did set one up during the summer on a Saturday morning
Right.
and said that we would be here to take any comments. And we plan to do more of those, had one person come in.
Yep.
And I think that's been part of the, probably what kind of.
Do you remember,
was a
Yeah, well,
hold on
remember about
this.
when that was?
I don't remember the actual date, but,
Yeah, I'll see
you
if
know,
I-
because it was during the summer, yeah.
It wasn't during the summer, I don't
It
believe.
might have been,
I think it was during
it might have been September, early September,
It was last spring sometime.
was it?
Yeah, I want to say it was spring.
Yeah,
Alright.
it was.
Maybe shortly after we had our meeting in April with
Right. But
the
again,
attorney.
to get more, I think the publicity on that was not as good as what we could have done, because I think the only publicity we had on that was meeting notice on the town website.
Okay, so we,
You know, I think if we do another one, we'll make sure that we have it up on the bulletin board
mhm,
on Channel 9 and 22, and we'll even share it with social media.
that's a good idea. Maybe we schedule a couple, or 3, every 2 weeks, to give people an opportunity to pick the day that they would be able to come.
Yep.
And maybe a Saturday is better than an evening, since it's winter or almost, and it's dark early. and-
Yep.
I mean, I think that would be, we set it up. It's
Yep.
just up to folks if they want to make the effort to come. We
Well,
would
like I
encourage them
say,
to do that.
The most important thing will be when we have Comcast here for the ascertainment hearing, that we need to generate people for that. You know, because otherwise, you know, it doesn't give you a good bargaining position if people complain on social media that they want to see something change, but then no one shows up to a public hearing when Comcast is there, and they can say right to the Comcast representative that I am disappointed because of this. That will be important.
Is there any public events that the town is going to have that we know that a lot of town people are gonna be there for us to set up a
Oh.
survey?
Good idea.
Yep,
um,
that's
Where we know
a
town
good
people are
thing.
gonna show up.
Yep. We'll have to, we'll have to check, then, the churches just had their church fairs, which would have been
Right.
ideal. Well, that draws people from outside too. We'll have to all keep our eyes open. I know sometimes St. James does their ham and bean
Supper.
suppers.
That's a good idea.
So we'll have to look for that and other public opportunities. The Bagnell School does their pancake breakfast beginning of December. That would be a good one to,
To make up something
Right.
just to have public comment on your cable.
right,
Yeah, or could we have one of us or a couple of us there
Right,
just to
there.
to submit something?
we could have both written surveys, and we could also just have a slip of paper saying, and ask the people, are you familiar with doing like an online survey?
If they won't, if the public will not come to us,
We
let's
have
go
to
to
go
the
to them.
public.
You're
There you
right,
go.
that's a very good idea,
Excellent.
excellent.
And one other thing that I was, on the April 9th meeting with our town attorney, he had stated that everything was gonna be handled according to this contract. And we keep getting thrown that we do not have the minutes. Well, that we have it on video of that meeting. Have you had any contact? Is he doing anything that we don't know about? As far as his contract goes?
I do not, no, I haven't touched
Am
base.
I
with-
saying that right?
Yeah. I haven't touched base with him since that meeting, because,
Well, if he,
again, it was emphasized to me that talking to the attorney costs us money, so don't do it too much.
well, why did he state at that meeting?
Yep. Well, again,
everything will be handled?
a lot of stuff has to be done on our part to give him what he needs to do his job. And that, the business plan and, again, the paperwork saying who we are, where we see us going, and how.
Well, I would beg to differ with him, because any of the contracts that happen in this town, or any other town, is that their town attorney is involved, from labor to
Yeah.
anything that goes on. And I'm sure we use our town attorney for contracts that are going on in the town.
I know, when I look back at my emails from 10 years ago, one of the things, and I'm not faulting the attorney, but, our previous attorney was on email with me every week. Have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done this? And it was kind of like,
We're just asking for help.
yeah, so I will check on that. So going down to like F, contact legal representation for Groveland. Contact Comcast to set up a meeting to outline how we're gonna proceed. And we already have the contract draft, has been sent to us by Comcast. So we are reviewing the Comcast draft. And then we're compiling questions. I know Rob has a number of questions regarding the old versus the new contract and terminology.
He had some great questions that he was working on, that he gave, he just gave us a synopsis of it at the last meeting.
He's a pro, he does it every day, so.
All right, so, I think that's all I want to cover at this point. Does anyone else have anything that they wish to add?
These questions that Rob and Beth and Kyle are gonna be working on, is there somebody, would forward it to them, if we have any comments? That, if they're gonna be compiling the stuff, I mean, we should be able to get if we have anything we would like to add, or anything, we can get that to them.
Okay. So that's all I have for tonight. Does anyone, Elizabeth, do you have anything else that you want to propose for our next meeting agenda?
No, not at this time.
Right. Kyle, do you have anything that you would like to see us put on the agenda for next time?
Just to see if we have any feedback from our town attorney
Okay.
on this subject of the contract.
And Ed, do you have anything else that you'd like to propose for agenda on our next meeting?
Yes, under the cable contract, I think, when are you planning on the meeting?
Well, I'd like to, if we can, maybe meet next Wednesday, because I know the board said they wanted to have the stuff ideally by next Thursday, but if we've got to review stuff, we review it Thursday and hopefully get it to them for Friday or Saturday, so they would have the weekend to review.
Well, how about if we, now, if we list the questions that we should have answered before our next cable meeting? For instance, we should have whether the survey has been posted.
Right.
We'll know that. We should have an update on the extension.
Yep,
That's gotta be the
Yep.
top priority.
yep,
And just maybe a good handle on this draft that I have here of the contract is, now this is like 43 pages, and I know that this one is, this is a little less than some of the other, but if we could go over, if we could go over the first half of this
okay.
draft, I just have a feeling that we're just dragging our feet, but we gotta get,
Right,
we gotta get some stuff down. And, so I'd like to see for the next meeting, where that we need to know, where we stand on the survey.
right,
We need, some definite questions answered about the,
right, update on the extension,
right, and that probably should even be done before the next meeting. That needs to be done within,
Yeah.
by Monday.
and then, you know, for that also, hopefully we'll be able to get from the attorney and Comcast, I'd like to see us set the date in January now, ideally by, you know, again, by next Thursday, Friday, so that we can get it on the calendar well ahead of time, so we can advertise for that. Now, does anyone have a feeling at that one, whether they'd like to see it evening or a Saturday?
Or,
I'm talking about the ascertainment.
Yeah,
Meeting.
and I don't know, you know, thinking about the attorney, I don't know whether the attorney works on Saturdays, I don't know if Comcast
I think
will
we'd have to work around him.
want to, but, you know, I'm just trying to think, you know, now that we're coming into winter, whether or not people will come out on a weeknight or whether more people will come out on a Saturday morning. So I might ask Rob, pose that question to Rob, Comcast representative, and Bill Hewig. Because, yeah, it revolves around if Comcast won't come out on a weekend, then,
Right.
you know, and if, same thing, if Bill Hewig is unavailable for a weekend, then we will be an evening. Okay? All right, anything else? All right, then I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
So the Cable TV Advisory Board adjourns at 7:48. Thank you, everyone.
Since we're gonna be partners.
It's more fun to work together.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do it this week.
Yeah.
What's
Take your
today?
time, well, today is Thursday.